present dead body.
I'm here for scout, not to crack some case.
How can we present things to her? I mean, I guess it's just there normally. It's just odd.
I came as quick as I could. Is Mel really
Yeah, someone got to him.
in the hospital? I hate it when this happens in shows.
The hospital hasn't released an official statement yet, but I saw for myself. Mel's dead.
How was he killed?
Smothered to death with a pillow. Simple but effective.
And quiet.
Medical examiner says it happened within the last hour.
The prime suspect. The prime suspect has got to be whoever attacked him in the first place. But I thought that was Ray. No, it was Muscle Man. Guys, can't you see?
Me too, but he's still locked in a cell. Either he's learned how to teleport or we got a problem.
Find any evidence in the room?
Nothing. The place is totally clean. This is a professional job.
Our biggest witness is dead and we've got nothing?
Not quite. I pulled up the CCTV.
How'd you get the CCTV so fast?
Brand new system, all digital. Only got installed a week ago. There's a good chance the killer had no idea.
A digital recording. I could scan through it.
That's what I was counting on. Here, it's on this disc.
I bet we're gonna see Muscle Man.
It's going to be...
People are saying that she should have called them crisps. I was thinking that too. I just gave her a British accent because it was one of the few ways I could differentiate characters. When you have a lot of female characters, it's hard to make them all sound varied without starting to throw accents in. Because I have like an old lady, like a young girl, like whispery, admittedly, Honor is kind of like my normal protagonist character voice, except maybe a little bit deeper. There's like the strong lady voice. There's the... and then, yeah, it's kind of like how I went into different accents with... Like, there's country people. There's the TV announcer lady. So she had a little bit more of a twang to her voice, but not necessarily country. It was more of like that kind of announcer voice. And then, yeah, I had the New Yorker accent for Roz. So I just threw on a British accent for Jenna or Gina, hoping to differentiate her. So yeah, she would have said crisps if she wanted to talk about chips, I suppose. Because, yeah, if you think about it, fish and chips, that's the old term for, you know, having a nice fried fish fillet with a bunch of french fries.
She did say a bag of chips, though, right?
Hmm?
Didn't she say a bag of chips?
Right.
So she might not actually be British.
She probably isn't British. That's what we're just discussing about. But yeah, if she was British, she would say crisps. Probably. I wasn't gonna give her a redneck accent. Also, what is that? That would be country. That's what I'd say. I don't really think redneck is a good term to use.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because what it means is they're out in the sun and they're getting a sunburn. But no, with all of the piercings, I suppose I could have given her a more monotone kind of punk voice, but she was a scientist, so I don't know. I'll stick with the accent that I currently have for her.
Makes her sound smarter.
Oh no, punk's Punks can be scientists. I mean, I could have given her one of those voices. I mean, what was it? I suppose, didn't they have that goth girl on NCIS that was the forensics person?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're given like split seconds to decide what voice we're going to give characters.
Yep.
Yeah, Abby. I miss watching crime scene shows.
Yeah.
Wander and I used to watch a lot of them together, specifically Castle and Bones.
I didn't like Bones as much. Castle was charming, but it went on too long.
Well, I think we started to stop when they were getting closer to figuring out what was up with, the girl's father dying or whatever. There was some unsolved case involved. Oh, wait, no. There was the whole thing where her apartment blew up or something.
I forgot that, honestly.
And I think with Bones, we watched a while, but it was funny because we didn't get to the later seasons when they actually had a baby together. I suppose spoilers. I mean, in so many of these shows, the main male and female protagonists eventually get together. But yeah, they had a kid and then their dynamic changed.
That's usually how it goes. And I just kind of lose interest in a show when they start doing stuff like that. That kind of writing and whatnot. Like, Castle was charming because he already had a kid, so it wasn't so bad. But even then, like...
And the crazy mother.
I think I just get really sick of the will they, won't theys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just can't... I can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why people liked the Supernatural show, because it was two brothers working together. You didn't really have to worry about... I mean, they did have
according to
romances
some
later.
fan art.
Oh, no. That'd be incest. Nope. Nope. No.
Yeah, I don't know. My issue with Supernatural largely stems from the fact we had a friend that was super obsessed with Supernatural while we were doing study abroad, and it was just like, but
Wander.
things.
But let's see. Yeah, I like the crime scene investigation shows because of the mystery, and you do learn a little bit of science along the way. It's definitely interesting. And the other thing too is I think that as a medium, TV is starting to become more common because people can't dedicate 3 hours of their life to watching a movie. And movies are starting to get to be 2.5 to 3 hours long, especially if they're these action-adventure epics. So with television, you have either 20 or 40-minute episodes depending on what kind of time block they were intended for. And those are far easier to digest. And also, then you can just have a continuous story. You don't have to rush things. You can have a lot of character development.
Yeah, I just find TV shows tend to start jumping the shark after a certain point, where they're like, we're still making money! And so they keep doing stuff, even though like the series should have just had a natural end.
Then there's the unfortunate series that become cult classics and people love them, but they ran out of funding and then they're never finished, like Firefly, for instance. It didn't really come into its own until after it was already canceled, and people have been wanting it ever since.
Yeah, but whoever owns it is not super interested.
Well, they were originally aired on Fox.
Oh, that would do it. Except for now Disney owns that.
Yeah, but I don't know if they own the rights to Firefly per se. Maybe.
They probably
That'd
do.
be weird.
I think the main other problem is the cast got too old at this point. Like, I love me some... Oh gosh, now I can't remember his name.
It was Sabotage. They kept moving the time slot. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if Fox moved the time slot and then Firefly became unpopular because people just couldn't watch it.
Well, less unpopular and more so they just... The numbers kept dropping because people didn't know when it was on.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, camera! Well, that's the camera and the CCTV footage. Okay, fine, the footage. What do we have? Oh,
Digital footage downloaded. Scanning frames. Focus on the footage from about an hour ago. Look for anything unusual, suspicious figures. I have something. It's Clyde.
yep. Yep. What did we tell you? What did we tell you guys?
Musselman. The meathead, are you sure? The footage is conclusive. White male, prominent facial scar, wearing a white uniform, with cap, left-handed.
Left-handed? But that means...
That pistol was his all along. He shot Lori.
Yes, and we already knew that it was his bullet casing. You should have known from the start. You guys are dum-dums, the lot of you. All this time, I thought he was just some charter captain.
For good reason. Ray told us he hired Clyde from an agency, but either he was lying or he really had no idea.
I think it's time we find out which. Afternoon, Ray. How's your cell?
Are you here for a reason, and just to make wisecracks?
What can you tell me about Clyde Musselman?
The charter captain, I'd almost forgotten about him. I don't know any more than what I already said. Mal called in sick, and the agency sent Clyde as a replacement. Except Mal was locked in the cargo hold. How could he have called in sick? I didn't receive the call myself, but that's what Clyde told me when he arrived. What difference does it make?
Mm-hmm. More than you realize, Clyde was lying to you.
Shouldn't you be asking Mal about this? Surely he's awake by now.
He's not going to wake up, Ray. He's dead.
But Clyde had no idea about the...
I think he had an idea about the diamonds.
But not the film. The coded message would have meant nothing to him.
Unless he happens to watch all the movies?
Alright.
I don't know. Mal Cruz is dead. He was murdered in his hospital bed.
I'm sorry to hear that. I've known Mal a long time.
With your help, we can bring his killer to justice.
Look around. Is this your idea of justice?
Can you give us the details of the hire company you used?
You hijacked my yacht, arrest my sister, accuse me of murder, and then you ask for my help. You're out of your mind. Why should I trust you?
You're still on the hook for Lori's murder. But Clyde is left-handed and that bullet casing was his from Vietnam.
Yeah,
What?
they're dumb. It's just her only leverage.
If you want to get out of here, you should be working with us, not against us.
Well, it'll take more than a few sweet words to get me to trust you and that bullhound of a detective.
What if I said we've got a lead that could prove your innocence? We just need your help to confirm it.
I'll believe it when I see it.
The footage.
Gun!
We have
CCTV
Oh.
footage of... You really gotta stop stealing my lines.
Sorry, I'm so used to them.
TV footage of Clyde leaving the hospital where Mal was killed. Caught him red-handed, huh? Left-handed, actually.
If he murdered Mal, there's a good chance he killed Lori too.
I told you I didn't kill anyone. You've been so focused on your vendetta against us that you ran headfirst towards prosecution, with no thought for due process.
I don't have a vendetta against you or your sister, Ray. All I care about is finding the truth. If we can tie Lori's murder to Clyde, you'll be free to go.
How am I supposed to even help, even if I wanted to? Maybe you've forgotten, but Detective Cross has me locked in a cell.
Right now, we've got no way to track Clyde down. We need to know who he really is. Can you think of anything that might help?
He was waiting on a boat when we arrived this morning. Of course, I noticed that tattoo right away.
That's right. He told us he was in the military, served in Vietnam. A scout, do you think you could look up his service record?
It's possible, but I need more search parameters.
Come on, Ray, you're a lawyer. You're supposed to be good at finding little inconsistencies.
Now that you mention it, there was something a little strange. When he introduced himself, he said his name was Hyde. He corrected himself right away, so at the time I thought nothing of it. But now I get the feeling he made up a new name on the spot.
You think Clyde is really called Hyde? Not exactly an inventive false name, but it's worth a shot.
This may be enough information. I can access military records through the police computer. Give me a moment to establish a data link. Military, but they must have the tightest security in the country. They've never gone up against me before.
Ah, hacking! Remember, this is the military you're hacking into. 2 down on the left.
That's scary advice.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see.
Ooh, there's 2
There
there.
we go.
Yep. 111 across the middle. 2-2.
There we go, got it. 3 seconds to spare again.
Oof.
I'm almost disappointed by military security. Found an administrator account with the password 123.
Ah. Right. What kind of idiot would have that as their password?
Searching for visual matches with the tattoo on Clyde's, Hyde's arm. Seems to be an insignia of the 5th Marine Regiment. Narrowing search by name, known physical characteristics, and service record. 1 record found. Corporal Hyde Musselman.
So that really was his real name.
Hyde fought at several key battles in Vietnam and remained a member of the 5th Marines until he was dishonorably discharged in 1977.
They kicked him out. What for?
Misconduct. Under Article 90 of the UCMJ, assaulting or willfully disobeying a superior officer. There's something else you may find more interesting. Hyde was suspected of killing a staff sergeant in a friendly fire incident in 1968. There was a solid case against him, but a key piece of evidence was lost, a bullet casing.
I mean, all this time we've been holding on to evidence from a 30-year-old murder?
Sometimes the solution to a puzzle relies on one missing piece of information. Without it, the process is impossible.
Are there any records about what he did after he left the Marines? We still need a way to track him down.
The police kept a close watch on him for several years after he was discharged. He drifted between jobs, and the records gradually become less detailed. Last entry is from 1991. It simply says, now employed by SSI.
Did you just say Hyde worked at SSI? Scout, that's the company that created you.
Do you think he was involved in my project? Do you think he's responsible for...
I'm not sure, but I bet Jenna could tell us.
Any good news? I tried my usual sources, but so far nothing.
We've got a new lead on Muscleman, thanks to Ray.
Ray was helpful?
He was plenty cooperative once he realized I was trying to prove he didn't kill Lori.
Typical defense lawyer, happy to fight the good fight, but only when it suits him. So, what did you find out about Clyde? Firstly, his name was not Clyde, it's Hyde. He was a Marine.
Dishonorably discharged. Likely killed a superior officer, and that's not even the interesting part. After he was discharged, he got a job at a lab that created Scout.
I'll be damned. You think there's some kind of link?
And that's what I'm hoping to find out.
Nope.
We're not going to show him the bullet casing?
Oh. When we go back.
Did you solve your case? No. If anything, it got more complicated. Well, I'm not done yet either. I can't rush these things. Got to take your time and think it through.
I get the feeling the reason why it's taking her so long is because Scout's gonna have to shoot something again.
Maybe. How's the work going? There's a lot of weird stuff in this code, but it's nothing I can't handle. The bigger problem is going to be deploying the patch. I don't know if I can do it without a specialized tool. What specialized tool do you need? Something called a data shunt. It's for uploading software into a protective drive. Not something you can buy off the shelf. You can't do without? No. This patch has to hook into dozens of core systems to override Scout's decision making.
What do you mean?
It'll completely disable your offensive systems. You won't be able to use them even if you want to. Wait. This thing will override Scout's decision making? They're going to change the way he thinks? It'll take his ability to hurt people. What's the problem? I'm just not sure if I'm comfortable with the idea.
I don't want to ever hurt anyone again, Honor.
But right now, that's your decision. If we take that away from you, if we force you to never hurt anyone, does it mean anything anymore?
I'm not sure I understand.
Can we discuss the philosophy later? I've got work to do. Did you know anyone at SSI called Hyde Muscleman? Yeah. He worked in defensive systems research. Some ex-military beefcake with more muscle than sense.
That sounds like Hyde. Do you know what happened to him?
After SSI shut down, the head of defensive systems started his own company. Oh, is it Leith?
Yep.
I think Hyde went with him. Any idea which company? It was a long time ago. It had a name like Lethal? Lath? Leith? Yeah, that's the one. Are you sure Hyde went to work at Leith Security? Yeah? He was sick of working in research lab anyway. Only time I ever saw him smile was when they were doing weapons tests. We've met the CEO of Leith. His company is connected to 3 different murder cases. Wait, you met Jack? Did he see Scout?
He was very interested in me. He even offered to repair me after I was damaged.
Oh no, what did he do? Oh no. If he knows you're still working. Do you think he might do something? Try to snatch Scout or something? I don't know, but you'd better watch your back out there. Talk about Leith. I spoke to Jenna about Hyde. He did work at SSI in their defense division, and his boss was Jack Larson.
Larson, the CEO of Leith?
Yeah. When the Scout project went bad, SSI was shut down. Jack founded Leith, and Hyde went with him.
Let me get this straight. Hyde works for Jack, but so did Lori.
Well, we know that they already have a penchant of having their own members killed off. Maybe Pritchell was murdered by Hyde too.
Probably. Lori was going to blow the whistle, and so Hyde had to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
This gets more complicated by the minute.
If this is how they handle disputes at Leith, I hope they have a good employee health plan.
Lori contacted us because she wanted to give information on Frank Pritchell. That has to be why she was killed. Larson's gone too far this time. He may be the common link between these deaths, but we still have no evidence against Jack himself. Oh, so the diamond smuggling was entirely separate. That I bet Aaron and Ray were smuggling diamonds just so she could have the experience of it, question mark? Or maybe that's why they have so much money, who knows. But the the Lori killing had nothing to do with the diamonds.
Hyde just noticed her?
Hyde just threw Mal in the cargo room. So what happened was Hyde, Lori organizes the plan to whistle blow. Hyde catches wind of it, knocks out Mal, throws him in the cargo room, which he knows, Ray won't let anybody into.
Becomes the new captain.
More or less claims he is the captain. And then shoots Lori before she can, get in contact with Cross. And then more or less just bides his time until he can escape. Well, all the blame is put on the Kinos. It may be the common link between these deaths, but we still have no evidence against Jack him. Oh,
that's Scout.
Sorry. It may be the common link between these deaths, but we still have no evidence against Jackson himself.
Then we need to find that evidence. Right, Detective?
Right. Jack Larson's always been one step ahead of us. Not this time. We need to get inside Leith offices.
I agree. How long will it take to get a search warrant?
That's gonna be tricky. I'm not exactly on the best terms with my captain right now. What with the whole going undercover without telling anyone thing, he's never gonna play ball.
Okay. So no warrant. What about me and Scout?
It's a private security company honor. You can't just walk in through the front door. I'm confident I can bypass their security. I've hacked into a military server earlier without issue. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Let's see what the choices are. You want to antagonize him, don't you?
Yep.
Forget detective work. Maybe being a cat burglar is my real calling.
I'm not gonna give you permission to break into a private office. But if someone did break in and evidence happened to fall into police hands...
Say no more, Detective. We understand.
I do not understand.
New location discovered, Leith security.
New location discovered. Bad.
Bedtime. All right, this might be the final push to the end of Murder by Numbers.
We're still
Everything's
ranked
coming
C?
together.
This is a long chapter.
This is a long
like,
chapter.
what rank are we? Yeah, we're still ranked C.
Yep.
We have half the chapter
We still have
left.
half the chapter.
Oh,